David heard his brother planning for a friend's birthday. His brother has 2 months to save enough money to be able to buy something for his friend's birthday and for himself. David's brother decides to buy a pair of jeans for his friend and one for himself too. Since a pair of jeans would be for 970 rupees, he would need around 2000 rupees to buy 2 pairs. David did not understand how his brother came to this conclusion. He decides to ask his father. Let's understand what David's father explains to him. David's father tells him that his brother reached that figure by estimating. He further adds that estimation is done by rounding off numbers to the nearest tens, hundreds, or thousands. Now consider the numbers from 0 to 10 on this number line. As we can see, the numbers from 1 to 4 are closer to 0, so they round off to 0. 5 is neither close to 0 nor to 10. It is in between 0 and 10, so the numbers from 5 to 9 round off to 10. Rounding off numbers like this helps us in judging the approximate value easily. In our daily lives, we come across many situations where we do not need exact values but need to know a reasonable estimate. Let's now learn about rounding off to tens using an example. Suppose the last time your mom went to the market, she bought a gift for me. It was for 66 rupees. To find out the approximate amount that your mom spent on the gift, we will round off 66 rupees to its nearest tens. As shown, 70 is a closer 10 to 66, so it rounds off to 70 rupees. Hence, we can say that the gift was for 70 rupees approximately. Similarly, numbers can be rounded off to their nearest hundreds also. Consider the numbers from 0 to 100. Numbers from 1 to 49 round off to 0. And numbers from 50 to 99 round off to 100. Now consider the number 767. It is between 700 and 800. Since 767 is closer to 800, it rounds off to 800. Similarly, if the number is 739, since it is closer to 700, it will round off to 700. Let us look at an example. Your mom spent 567 rupees yesterday on vegetables and fruits. To find out how much your mom spent approximately, we round off 567 to its nearest hundreds. Since 600 is a closer hundred to 567, we round it off to 600 rupees. So, we can say that your mom spent 600 rupees approximately on vegetables and fruits. We can also round off 4 or more than 4-digit numbers to their nearest thousands. If we consider the numbers from 0 to 1000, then the numbers 1 to 499 will round off to 0. And numbers from 500 to 999 will round off to 1000. For example, let's round off 6284 to the nearest thousands. 6,284 is in between 6,000 and 7,000. Since 284 is closer to 0, 6,284 rounds off to 6,000. Similarly, the nearest thousands to 7,500 will be 8,000. Now, let's find out how much your brother spent approximately last month on a pair of skates. For this, we will round off 1,827 to its nearest thousands. Since it is closer to 2,000, it rounds off to 2,000 rupees. We have to remember that the estimation should be meaningful. The approximate value that you get should be close to the actual value. For example, if every month we spend, what is the approximate expenditure every month? On rounding off, we get the numbers as shown. The sum of all the approximate values is 41,000, which can be further rounded off to 40,000. Now, the difference between the actual and the approximate expenditure is as shown. Since the approximate expenditure is quite close to the actual expenditure, it is a meaningful estimation. Let's now find out the estimated difference between values. Sandra plans to gift a bicycle to her brother. She estimates that it will cost her 8,000 rupees approximately. However, she buys the bicycle for 5,780 rupees. On rounding off to its nearest tens, 5,780 becomes 5,800. On rounding off to its nearest hundreds, 5,800 rounds off to 6,000. Since 6,000 is a more meaningful estimate, we subtract it from the initial estimated cost. So we can say the estimated difference is 2,000 rupees. Now find out the estimated value of the following to the nearest thousand. Sum of 30 and 1,000 is 1,030, which rounds off to 1,000. Now subtract 200 from 1,000. The result is 800. Since 800 is closest to 1,000, 1,000 will be the answer. Now let's find out the estimate of the product of two values. We have to remember that the product should be meaningful. Consider this example. If we round off the numbers to their nearest tens, we get. Alternatively, if we round off like this, we get. Thus, we observe that the second method is more meaningful when compared to the actual value. Let's look at an example. Tom spends 175 rupees approximately every month in the school canteen. How much does he spend approximately in a year? To find out, we will round off 175 rupees to its closest hundred to get 200 rupees. Similarly, rounding off 12 to its closest tens, we get 10. In a year, Tom spends 2,000 rupees approximately in a year. David now understands why his brother would need 2,000 rupees approximately to buy 2 pairs of jeans. Since each pair is for 970 rupees, it rounds off to its closest hundred, which is 1,000 rupees. 1,000 rupees when multiplied by 2 gives 2,000 rupees. This is how David's brother came to this conclusion. Let us summarize what we have learned.